Hello, everyone. Welcome to RHI. My name is Sharon Clausen. I'm the Annual Fund and Events Officer at the RHI Foundation. And RHI is RHI Stories of Courage, Hope, Attitude, and Inspiration. And today we do have a story of great inspiration. Our newest elite athlete for the RHI Sports Program is Braydon Schroeder. And RHI Sports Board member Bill Crouch is going to be interviewing him today. So welcome both of you to RHI. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Well, great to meet you again.
Yeah, great to meet you.
It's our first time, so why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself at a base level? We'll start there. How about that?
As Sharon said, I'm Braydon Schroeder. I do an awful lot of fishing, and I grew up in Indiana, born and raised Columbus, Indiana, and I moved up towards the west side of Indianapolis. Did 8 years military. I'm a former law enforcement officer. I did 3 years as a sheriff's deputy, and now since my accident, I've just been really focusing on fishing and family life because when you have an accident, it kind of makes you appreciate those things. So
gets you back to the basics, doesn't it?
Right, that's right.
Well, my understanding is after your accident, you were a patient at RHI.
Yes, sir.
True? Yeah. Why don't you tell me about that experience, if you would?
It was amazing. At first, when I got there, I was a little, I wouldn't say intimidated, but I was a little scared because I didn't know what to expect. I just spent a little over 3 weeks in the hospital, and it was my first morning there. I was like, I don't know what to expect here, what's going to happen. But first day, my occupational therapist and physical therapist, they were right out the gate, ready to make me work for it and push me actually to where I am today. A lot of people say that 7 months after an accident, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing, and here I am because they saw the potential and they made me work for it. And staff was honestly amazing. I wouldn't say they waited on me hand and foot, but then again, they did. They made sure that I was taken care of and I was comfortable and I was happy. And all around, I honestly had an amazing time there for being in a situation I was in. They actually pushed me and they treated me like a human and not somebody that was newly, handicapped. And I felt like, I was me still.
Yeah, but obviously with your veteran background, you've accomplished a lot in your life. You said you were a police officer. You're, from what I understand, a big bass fisherman. And,
yes, sir.
And I also didn't hear that it really took a whole lot to push you, that you were really motivated throughout that whole process as well.
Well, yeah, I'm glad they said that because I was trying. As much as I love being there, I was ready to go home though. It'd been over a month since I've been home. So I was like, well, if I bust my butt, maybe I can get home.
But you went home with the right attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You got into the sports program somehow, some way. Tell me about that, if you would.
Yeah, I was actually just kind of looking around online and came across the sports program and just emailed the generic email, and that put me in touch with Karen. And then her and I got to conversating back and forth, discussing what the sports program was about. And then I had a phone interview with Sharon and Karen, and next thing you know, they're saying I'm an elite athlete, so I'll take it.
And what does an elite athlete actually mean for you?
It's somebody in the RHI setting that went through or is in the same situation as me, but still pushes himself to go out to do what they love, either be baseball, basketball, football, or even fishing, instead of just laying down and saying, well, my life kind of stinks now, I'm not going to do anything. I feel like that's what an elite athlete could be, especially in my situation, because I told the docs, I was like, well, will I be able to stand on a boat again? And they told me yes. So I was ready to get back at it. So I feel like that's what it means to me.
You were a bass fisherman before. How has it been like since you've been back in the saddle, as it were?
It's been a struggle for me and my fishing partner, because it takes a little more moving steps and moving processes to get me going. But it's been great. I went from just sitting down on a chair in the back of the boat to casting to I don't know if you've heard of the iWalk 2.0. It basically straps to your knee. And I was able to stand/sit on the back of the boat with that. And then now I'm rocking my new prosthetics. So I had 2 bass tournaments this last weekend. I stood the whole time, all 8 hours, and fished as if it was me before the accident. So It was a struggle from the beginning, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, and I'm enjoying it. I've had a good backing too. My wife pushes me, my family pushes me, and they told me I wasn't gonna lay down and deal with it. So I had to do something.
So I also hear you're doing tournaments. You just said you did a couple of tournaments.
Yes, sir.
Are you you placing in those tournaments? How's that looking?
Yes, we placed just this last weekend. We placed 5th out of approximately 30 boats, which made for a good weekend. And then I know it doesn't sound that impressive, but it is in the bass world. But it was a couple weeks ago, we had a tournament where it was 93 boats and we placed 30.
Wow.
And then before that was roughly 60 boats and we placed 7th. So we're placing, we're taking a little bit of money home, but it's when you call it count in lures and fuel and boat maintenance, we don't really make any money at it, but it's still fun. With placing and going to these tournaments, we're accumulating points, and that allows us. We've actually already accumulated enough points to participate in the regional tournament at the end of the year.
Oh wow!
Kind of a big deal for us. It's our first year doing this hard of bass fishing, so hopefully we can place this year and then go fish down in Tennessee next year.
Well, congratulations! That's awesome.
That's awesome. Exciting. Thank you.
So outside of that, I mean, what are some of your goals for the coming year? I mean, we're coming out of the pandemic. You're back in the thick of things. What's on the horizon for you?
I go back to full-time working as well. That this accident took a hit on me and my wife. You know, we had to make some career choices and career changes. And now that I'm back on, my 2 feet, I can say I'm going back to work now and making a living and being able to provide. And I want to get back into hunting. I'm a big hunter. I love it. And basically just get back to living a normal life to where I don't even think about the accident or think about, my injuries. So that's my big goals for this year.
I have to say you're, with RHI and the courage and hope and attitude and inspiration that you've shown through this whole process is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure I've met someone with such a great attitude towards their situation and towards looking for the future. So I definitely appreciate you coming on today. Appreciate the conversation. I look forward to meeting you in the future.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I love talking about it because it's interesting, and at the same time, it's life altering, and there could be people in my situation that are struggling with the same thing, and maybe I can help them get past that and see the light at the end of the tunnel.
I certainly hope so. Well, thank you for that. Good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for RHI. As you heard Braydon mention, to participate as an elite athlete in sports, it does cost a lot of money. And one of the reasons why we're able to sponsor him as an elite athlete in the sports program is because of donations from people like you. So if you would like to give a donation and help support some of our athletes like Braydon, just click on the link that's part of this post. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.